you guys are near the top in isolation frequency and efficiency with it. What have you thought of that, and what do you just think about the ways those isolations can come about? Because not all isolations are the same.
Right, they're not all the
Obviously,
same. Some games we've played. The Portland game was one, and I thought the Utah game was another. The game just kind of boiled down to that because of either switching or heavy pressure. So we leaned into it. We got two good ISO players, but I thought those ISOs were in the context of the game for the most part. We've had some periods of play, maybe in the second half of the Knicks game where ISOs were kind of out of the context. So generally, I've been really happy with the offense, the way it looks, the movement. Everybody's getting involved. I don't. I just have to watch more whether it leads to a bad shot or not, whether it's the actual ISO.
I always wonder, the ones. I'm sure they're tracking ones where it's getting to Jaden on the second side and he's going on, and that's tracking as an isolation when it's the result of good ball movement.
Yeah, I mean that's what I always query this data. Where does the ISO stop and what does it lead to? So every metric might be a little bit different, but it feels like we're getting decent looks in our offense consistently. So that's what I'm pleased with.
Chris, the starting five in particular, the net rating really good.
Yeah.
What is allowing that to click the way that it has?
There's a lot of firepower, and especially with the way Jaden's been playing right now, and Dante for sure. While he may not be hot out of the gate, other periods of the game when he's in there with those guys, he seems to catch a rhythm. So I think of course Julius is playing at a super high level, and he's shooting 88% from over the last 5 games. So there's a lot of things that are leading to that. So I think the guys they're playing in a really good rhythm, and it's leading to good offense with a lot of dangerous guys.
Dante the aggressiveness that Dante brings, whether he's making or missing.
Yeah.
Can you see the defense being stressed by that and respecting him even if he's 1 for 6?
Yeah, if he's one pass away from the ball, you could see him maybe a little less committed to Anthony in the gap, which certainly helps. He's shooting the ball. He's committed to shooting it. His turnovers are down. I think it's another reason why our efficiency's up. As a general, our turnovers have been down, and we always you can't turn it over if you shoot it at the rim. So he's kind of leaning into that at the moment.
2 years ago, you had a top-rated defense. Your offense was 18th or 19th. Last year, especially after the All-Star game, it was a lot more balanced.
Yeah.
I know you preach a defensive identity. Will you trade that gap, or would you rather have it be more balanced?
I'd rather have a balanced attack. I think we have the ability to be, top tier in both. And our defense is slowly climbing up, but it's got to get much better. There are controllables there. The fouling certainly hurts it. The rebounding certainly hurts it. Feels like we got some of the leakiness under control right now. Rudy's again been big at the rim, so we just got to keep trying to grow the defense because we know we can be better there. I think offensively, what we're seeing right now is this is where continuity does pay dividends because of familiarity with a kind of a read and react system. Guys feel way more comfortable the more they've been in it together. That's just normal. So.
Is it harder to preach defensive teamwork than offensive teamwork, or is it pretty much the same?
Good question. I think it's harder to preach offensive teamwork a lot of times in the NBA, just because most of these guys are hardwired scorers, and they come here and they're looking for opportunities for themselves within the framework of what you're doing. So we've been pretty connected defensively, I think, over the last few years.
Kind of been searching non-Rudy minutes for better defense from one of the better defensive rating players when it's Jaden out there, small. But are you finding something with that group that you're getting some synergy?
Yes, absolutely. 3 extremely solid, smart perimeter defenders, just better at the point of attack, better at the second line of defense, better in rotations, not having to rely on our defense at the rim quite as much.
just the perimeter defense that limits the drive? And
Yeah, I think there's that. Yeah, definitely. A little bit more disruptive, kind of just a little bit more discipline in anything that happens off the ball.